Alright, it is 12 p.m. I just got back from watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Here is an in-depth review and a rating out of 10 at the end. So to get rid of all the intro fluff that you are used to, there were a lot of Nintendo references. You had Luigi's GameCube ringtone, you had Punch-Out Pizzeria, Rainbow Road, Mario playing Kid Icarus on the NES, tons of redone music. I mean, it was pretty good for any big Nintendo fan. So for those who are not Nintendo fans and parents who do not know anything about Mario, or you know some, but not as much to get the references, there's a lot to be enjoyed. The colors are great, animation is awesome, there is some 80s music for you to enjoy for those parents out there. Specifically, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Take Me On, and I Need a Hero. Couldn't have chosen much better songs. Let's begin with the story. There isn't much of one. Luigi essentially gets kidnapped, and I'll explain why I do not like that in a minute. You have characters like Mario, Peach, Toad, Donkey Kong, all trying to get to Bowser's castle and save Luigi. And so that's cool. Normally it's Peach getting kidnapped, but you know, Luigi fits the part, or does he? So the reason why I don't like that is because the voice actor for Luigi, Charlie Day, fit Luigi so well, I thought. And so because Luigi is kidnapped, yeah, they show part of him in the movie here and there, but he loses a lot of screen time because of that. And so they mainly focus on Mario, Peach, Toad, and Donkey Kong, which is awesome, but not enough Luigi. Otherwise, Mario and friends faced trial and tribulation to try to get to Bowser's castle. Eventually got there, Luigi's free. Mario and Luigi get star power, they beat up Bowser, they put him in a jar, and that's the end of it. So there's the story for you. In terms of the scenes that I liked the most, I took notes. We saw Mario and Luigi in their house with their parents, aunts, and uncles. Yes, there was a Mario mom and dad reveal. This was all taking place in Brooklyn, which is obviously where they're from. Pauline made her cameo. She was a news reporter when Brooklyn was being flooded. Mario and Luigi began playing the role of plumbers at the start of the movie before becoming Super Mario and Super Luigi. There was a piano scene in the middle of the movie, around there. Bowser was singing a song on a piano about Peach. I couldn't help but smile and almost burst out laughing. I mean, it was great. Now, voices. Whose voices fit the characters and whose did not? The biggest one, Chris Pratt playing Mario. I thought it would be worse. I thought it would be a lot worse, but I think it does fit Mario. Luigi, spot on. Toad, spot on. Peach, whatever's before spot on. Donkey Kong, I think that fit the part too. Bowser, yes, like they were all pretty good fits. I do like the comeback of Foreman Spike. He was a part of the Wrecking Crew games back in the day. It had great pacing. I never really found myself getting distracted or dozing off. It kept you entertained, and there was a lot going on. Now, I'm giving the movie a lot of praise. What didn't I like? Not much, although there were some moments in the movie that were a bit cringy. Cringy to the point where it felt like they were aiming some of these jokes at kids, which is nice, and maybe that's only me that found things cringy, but that's just how I felt about it. Is it made towards kids, though? I wouldn't really say that. Anybody can have fun and enjoy the movie, but a kid would definitely enjoy it. No, I mean, anybody would enjoy it. I did feel it was a little bit short, albeit it is a 92-minute movie, which is decent. Maybe I was enjoying it too much, so it went by so fast, but it felt a tiny bit short, which can also be a good thing because they did not make it longer than it had to be. It was long enough for Nintendo and Illumination to get all of the Easter eggs and joy across. Now, here was my biggest worry going into the movie. I've watched every single piece of Mario movie trailers. Did I see too much? Yes. So my experience is around every 8 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes a lot less, you would hear, see, or notice something from the trailers that were shown off weeks prior. For example, when Peach would say, "There's a big universe out there," that line was engraved in my head from the trailers. When you had the Toad say, "We're adorable," I remember that from the trailers. Some would say it's my fault for watching too much, some would say it's Nintendo and Illumination's fault for showing too much, but yeah, a give or take average of 8 minutes, you see something from the trailers. Which did not necessarily make it less enjoyable. I was able to be like, oh yeah, that's from the trailer. So I didn't mind it too much, I was just able to predict what would happen next based off the dialogue that was happening at that moment. Now our final review segment, the post-credits scene. So you roll the credits of Chris Pratt, all the big voice actors, all the big names involved. There is one scene where Bowser's playing the piano similar to how he did during the movie, talking about all the Mario characters, just for a Toad to tell him to stop singing. And then if you stay all the way through the black screen with all of the more unknown names, spoiler alert, there is a Yoshi egg that is cracking slowly and you can hear Yoshi's voice. Because yeah, Yoshi was not in the movie, so that must tease the next Mario Bros. Movie. That is kind of smart because in the sequel to this movie, if there is one, which there likely will be one, it does let you improve and add more characters to it. So that kind of confirms Yoshi in the next movie. And my final review and my final rating of this movie, what would I give it? How many stars out of 10 we're gonna rate it? You factor in the story, you factor in the voices, how well they fit, what parts you enjoyed, all the references. When you add this all up, me being a Nintendo fan who understood all of the references, or at least majority of them, I'm going to give the movie a 7.8 out of 10. Essentially an 8 out of 10. I mentioned what I did not like Luigi not being on the screen for too long, the small bits of cringe, and I'm not one to call out cringe like that, cringe, but just some of the lines sent like a tingle down my spine, like I didn't like them. With that, that is what I think of the Mario Bros. Movie. I will discuss it even more on my podcast. It'll be here if it's out. If you're watching this within a few hours of the video being out, it won't be here. But if the podcast is out and you're watching this days later, look at my podcast right here. I'll have my in-depth, full-on, everything review in this podcast. With that, thank you to our channel members. I love you all so much. I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.